November. And of course, all of you, our sponsors and supporters and friends of the Hunter Valley Research Foundation. Great to have so many of you here tonight, and certainly a great honour to have so many of you to, I guess, bear witness to my final dinner, or HVRF Newcastle dinner. So earlier tonight, as an organisation, you've seen us recognise the important role that our sponsors play in supporting the work of the Foundation. I'd also like to personally acknowledge that support and the commitment that our sponsors provide to the Foundation. Without that support, the Foundation would be unable to exist and do the work that we do. We wouldn't have our regional social, economic and monitoring program, couldn't be financed, and I believe that the Hunter region would be a poorer place without it. But I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But this year is a special year for a number of reasons, and you've heard some of those. Not only because we have completed our new building, but also that the Foundation is obviously going to have its third CEO in 57 years. And I think the other thing is that at this dinner tonight, there's a number of people joining us who don't normally come to these functions. Specifically, a special welcome to my immediate and extended family who've made the trek from places north, south and west to be here tonight, because not everybody is fortunate enough to have their parents with them to celebrate their retirement dinner. So I recognise how privileged I am to have them here tonight, along with some of my brothers and sisters-in-law, so Dave and Claire, Jim, Amanda and Sam. We'll hear from Sam a little later, I with some trepidation, I can tell you. My sister Kate, as she says, the only sister. She feels that she needs to have that on a tag as an important distinction. And of course, wife Peggy and daughter Kira. Not to mention a number of cousins that have, and close family friends that have travelled from near and far to be here tonight. My son Duncan, who you saw on some of the pictures, would have dearly loved to have been here tonight, but he's recently started a job in Darwin, and with the Northern Territory just having 2 long weekends in a row, he thought it might be a bit much to then make another journey south. There are numerous other relations that who'd love to have been here, but apologise for tonight. So I guess, as you can tell from our family and relations, we could almost fill the City Hall in their own right. Another family I'd like to welcome are the people here tonight who've spent part of their career at the Foundation. Over the 57 years of the Foundation, there are numerous people who've begun or spent part of their working life here and have then gone on to do great and wonderful things, not only here in the Hunter but throughout New South Wales and the rest of Australia. During my time at the helm, I've been lucky to be able to work with some of the most dedicated and brilliant people that anybody could wish to find. I'd like to specifically mention some senior researchers, I use those words carefully, that are here tonight from the Cyril Rennick years, most notably Professor Maury Daly and Dr Maura Gordon. Maura also has the distinction of not only having worked at the Foundation in its early years, but also directly contributing to the next generation of employees, with her daughter Ruth also having worked at the Foundation for a number of years. And I know that in a few short years we should be able to get our hands on the 3rd generation of Gordons and McLeods. Others that have returned to tonight's dinner include Charles Black, Renee Hawkins, Nick Killen, Agnes Marceau, Ruth McLeod, Martin Musgrave, Peter O'Connell, that are here tonight. So welcome those that have travelled, and welcome back to Newcastle and the Hunter region. Welcome home. Of course, those that have worked at the Foundation in the past join those presently that are working at the organisation. This is another extended family which has made life at the Foundation exciting, challenging and of course enjoyable. Welcome to all my fellow workmates who share the responsibility, trials and tribulations of making a not-for-profit regional research organisation work in the current economic and social conditions. Thank you all for coming and being part of this occasion. I'd also like to welcome the large number of friends that have attended from my connections through the world of water and natural resource management. This has been a significant part of my technical and policy career while here at the Foundation, and continues to be my academic interest. It's wonderful to see so many friends from both the Natural Resources Commission and the Catchment Management Authorities, board members and staff, both past and present. I've enjoyed many wonderful hours travelling with CMA staff around the Hunter, Lower North Coast and Central Coast, meeting with landholders to hear about their challenges and how the CMA could assist them implement more sustainable land management practices that improves the resilience of the entire landscape. And of course a special welcome to that subset of the CMA known as the Kura Gang, or that group of dedicated people who have been able to restore an area of land in the west of Kooragang Island called Ash Island to a landscape which the National Parks and Wildlife Service now want to call their own. I'm honoured that so many of my friends have made the journey from places such as Canberra, Sydney, Bathurst, Corindai and Gunnedah, as well as Sunny Corner, of course, just south of Dark Corner, and all the families and friends from the Roogal, the Isis, Wingen, Carr Springs and Scone, to name a few. Coming to these types of events can be a bit of a chore, particularly if you're not used to having to get dressed up in a suit or go out in a midwinter week's night. And I'm particularly honoured that my old Hexham Swamp sparring partner, prawn trawlerman extraordinaire, Jeff Hyde, should cast aside his thongs and stubbies and disembark from the good ship Hod to be here tonight. So if you see a prawn trawler plying the Hunter River, painted to look like a floating violet crumble bar, with a grey nurse shark painted on the bow, give Jeff a wave, he's a hard one to miss. Along with his good wife Pat, who said she thought she could find his suit. They have always been happy to give their views about what needs to happen in the Hunter River when I was involved with the Hunter Trust and the CMA, particularly about improving the health of the Hunter estuary and bringing prawn and fish life back to Hexham. An outcome that I'm pleased to say can now begin in earnest with the last of the Ironbark Creek gates being opened just over 2 weeks ago. So well done to all those involved. Well done to Pat for finding Jeff's shoes, and no doubt if you want to hear about prawns, Jeff's the man. There's always been a natural crossover between my work at the Foundation and my interest in natural resource management. Initially through the Hunter Catchment Management Trust, but then through the Hunter River Management Committee and the Hunter Central Rivers Catchment Management Authority. The crossover can be easily explained because of my academic and technical training, but also because the Trust and the Foundation came from similar beginnings, which was concern felt by the community about the impacts of flooding on the region and the thirst for greater knowledge about what makes this region function. The Foundation began in the 1950s with the strong support of Sir Ian Clunies-Ross, then Chairman of CSIRO, a connection which continues today with our own Chairman, Eileen Doyle, now Deputy Chairman of CSIRO. And I'm pleased to say that tonight we also have with us the former CSIRO Chief of Land and Water Resources, Dr John Williams, who was until recently also the New South Wales Natural Resources Commissioner. As you can tell, over my 31 years at the HVRF, I've been privileged to meet many wonderful and dedicated people. When I joined the Foundation in 1982 at the tender age of 29, it was hard to think that I'd still be here 31 years later. Before the Foundation, I toyed with the idea of a more traditional academic career through the university system, having completed my postgraduate education in the US Rocky Mountains, as you can see from some of those pictures. It was a toss-up between a university appointment in Arizona or a return to Australia to no job. After a 7-year stint in the US, it seemed the right time to return home, so I took the no job in Australia option. On my return back to Scone in 1982, I managed to arrive in the middle of one of Australia's classic droughts. So, while applying for various jobs throughout the country, I turned my hand to feeding cattle, hammer milling and unloading 44-gallon drums of molasses in the middle of the night. Fortunately, the job on the research team at the Foundation was advertised, and they say the rest is history. I haven't had to unload a drum of molasses since. Most of the HVRF staff who were here when I first joined the foundation have either retired or moved on to other opportunities. All except one, that is. That's our computer programmer, statistician, IT and all-round good guy, Russ Redford. Russ began his IT career in the days when the abacus was still in experimental design. So when we talk about the change in technology, Russ has seen it all. When I started at the foundation, we had a programmable calculator, a couple of IBM electric golf ball typewriters and one computer which had two 12-inch floppy drives. Most of our analysis was done on a mainframe computer located here in the city. There was great excitement when we moved from the IBM golf ball electric typewriters to a computer with an attached electronic typewriter. This was followed soon after by the acquisition of a fax. A significant step up from the telegram which we used to send weather data to the Bureau of Meteorology. I can recall when I undertook an exchange to my alma mater in the US in the early 1990s, working on establishing email links between the foundation and the University of Idaho. Although we had desktop computers in the department, I think I was the first one to connect to the new internet thingy and be able to send emails between the foundation and the university. Looking back at the significance of the changes that we've seen over these 30 years, it's hard to imagine what the next 30 will bring. Russ has done a fantastic job of reinventing himself as the next generation of software or hardware is issued, although we did have to build a new building to get rid of some of his spare computer parts. Thanks, Russ, for sticking with it and always being available through thick or thin to support the inevitable system problems that we all experience from time to time, but of course few know how to fix, but Russ does. As the change in technology has been part of Russ and my working life, change has also been a broad and common theme for the foundation and the Hunter over the last few decades. The Hunter has changed dramatically since those years, moving from BHP as the main game in town to a situation in which the university, alongside major health institutions, are the employers of note, while trade and capital investment have been the characteristics of the resources sector that have been contributing to the growth in the local economy in recent years. These major changes in the structure of the regional economy and how we all do business have meant redefining what information the foundation collects and how we collect it. In the early years, the foundation had a focus on collecting physical resource information. As the needs of the community changed, so did the demands on the foundation. The community wanted current information which helped in forecasting business conditions as well as floods. As a result, the foundation developed its regional economic monitoring program, which collected information directly from households and businesses, and which could be benchmarked to similar information collected at a national level. While the foundation developed a reputation for its analysis of regional economic conditions, it was obvious that there was more to the community than statistics about production and trade. Over the last decade, the foundation began its work to track the overall well-being of the community. Our research demonstrates that among a wide range of issues, personal relationships, individual health, and perceived relative wealth, some may refer to it as a concern with equity, are the main contributors to a person's feeling of life satisfaction. And this is a key message to keep communicating to all our political representatives at the federal, state and local level. Providing a mirror for the region to view the progress of our community has always been the critical role of the foundation. Yet this role is impossible to accomplish without the support of a broad church of stakeholders. I'm grateful for the support the foundation has received from all the local governments throughout the region, as well as the many businesses, both large and small, who call the Hunter home. The foundation has received support recently from the federal government to complete our new building, which will be officially opened on Thursday. And while we currently have a hiccup with our support with the state government, we have enjoyed a long and enduring partnership with the state, which was based on the level of support we could raise from the local community. All of this support has gone toward providing information to help improve conditions in our region, information which would not be provided otherwise. It's something not to be taken for granted, because like trust, love and other precious things, once it's gone, it's always hard to recreate. I guess that's a key message that I certainly leave with you today. I've been very fortunate as I've enjoyed strong support from the board, the foundation, particularly our chairman Eileen, and before her Professor Michael Carter. Thanks to our present board members, Professor Marie Gleeson, Rory Gordon, Michelle McPherson, John McNaughton, Richard Owens and Bruce Tyrrell, but also to the numerous board members that have served the foundation over the years that I've been the CEO. Thanks again to all our staff who formed such a great team, and a special thanks to Marie Campbell for organising tonight. Each and every one at HVRF does a great job in maintaining our unique approach to regional development and keeping the faith to help our clients and our regional communities. Finally, I'd like to once again acknowledge and thank my immediate and extended family. 31 years at the foundation and 28 years as CEO possibly defines perseverance. One couldn't do it without an understanding and supportive family. Peg moved to Australia from the US, leaving her family to be closer to mine. And I know she didn't do it for the money or for my dancing, but I'm glad she did. In closing, I'd like to make the point that an investment in regional research is an investment in the future of regional New South Wales. The foundation has been an integral part of the evolution of one of Australia's preeminent regional economies and should serve as an excellent example of how governments can help regions to help themselves. For me personally, it's been a fruitful and fulfilling journey. I'm looking forward to charting my next voyage, as you saw, and I plan to keep in contact with as many of you as I can. I know I've enjoyed your support over the years, and so I'd like to reciprocate. Be good and stay in touch. Thank you.